Yo, so Mase says something that's going a little viral on the internet right now. I want to know what side you fall onto this. If you guys remember Tupacalypse and all this Brenda's Got a Baby, early Pac, that was in the East Coast if you even think about the music videos and all. Mase is saying Pac was considered an NY rapper, NYMC until 94 when he got shot and then started beefing with Bad Boy and Biggie and all that happened, and then he became a West Coast rapper. Do you guys agree or do you not? Let's see what Mase said. I didn't get to hear his full clip, but Mase was someone that was around at the time. He was Bad Boys, he was cool with Big, he was cool with Junior Mafia, he was around the scene, cool with Craig Mack, cool. I don't know if he was cool with Pac. You know what's crazy? Mase really stood out of that beef as much as possible. Like when I think about it, unless you guys remember something, I don't really remember beef between Mase and Pac. Like I feel like he stood out of that. And then as soon as Big died, he ended up dipping out the game and became a pastor. Was that the right or wrong thing? I'm gonna leave that up to you guys to decide. Well, I'm gonna leave that up to him and God. That's what really matters. Subscribe to the channel. Let me know your thoughts. Do you think Pac was considered an NYC rapper before 94? Strictly for my niggas, Tupacalypse, like was all that New York raps? Let me know down below. He was touring though. He was touring with Humpty Dumpty and all that. I do the Humpty Dump. I do the Humpty Dump. For those that don't remember, I'll play a clip.
For me to get paid, I had to go out there in bikini briefs and hop on top of this dog. I was homeless at the time. That's what I had to do. You have to work from one point to go to another point. I admire the work ethic.
Do the Humpty Hump, do the Humpty Hump. Do the Humpty Hump, just watch me do the Humpty Hump.
A lot of people did not know that Pac was a dancer with Digital Underground. They did not know. Subscribe to the channel, like the video. You'll learn more info and watch the rest of this footage. Let me know your thoughts. There's a lot of Tupac talk going around from Drake doing the AI to now Mase consider him an NY rapper. You guys let me know what side of the ball you fall on this one.
I count Tupac as...
Hold on, what you say, Mase? Hold on. What you say?
I count Tupac as a New York rapper?
Yes. His first, yes.
Mase,
No,
he don't even claim.
I mean, he never
fucking claim Tupac as a New York rapper.
He is a New York rapper. Before he got shot, he was from New York.
Before he, listen, Me Against the World got a lot of New York producers on it.
It's up to me. Whatever makes
Above the Rim is a New York soundtrack.
No, I'm saying because before he got shot, he was
from
from New York. After he got shot, he was West Coast.
From New York, man.
Sounds like you're throwing shots.
Mase,
Sounds like you're throwing shots.
Mase, you gotta say this though,
just telling
because
the
before that first album dropped, he was with Digital Underground. You hear me? In Cali, like 91, 90.
Exactly what he's saying right there. Before anything, before Tupacalypse, all that, he was with the Digital Underground. Also, remember, he moved from Baltimore to Oakland.
But see, that's how I know a lot of people, they don't understand this shit because he's not lying. Before the shooting in New York, Pac was considered a New York nigga, but now you young kids who in your 20s and 30s, y'all niggas consider Pac West Coast.
All eyes on
We ain't got no bodyguards, no security, no police, just some thug niggas popping from block to block.
Tupac Shakur is back in the news, but before all that, he got together with Thug Life to tour his old Harlem neighborhood.
We represent every brick and every piece of cement in this country.
Call for it down.
Remember, he was born in Harlem, New York City. From there, he went to Baltimore. From Baltimore, he went to Oakland. Then started touring with Digital Underground, doing all the dancing stuff. There was a lot of stuff that Pac was doing all around. He even lived with a white family that we saw in like a documentary or something. I forgot exactly which one, but I know there's one of them they talk about the family he lived with.
He told me what was going on at his house, and within a couple months, I realized that his mother was so addicted that his house was too dysfunctional to have a career, to keep going to school. So within a couple months, he ended up coming to stay at my house. 7465 Bridget Drive. And this is the apartment that I was living in with my husband and my children, and Pac and Ray came to stay with me here. He was the sloppiest, messiest person I've ever lived with.
But he was born in New York City, so there's another argument of him wanting to come back to his roots, come back to hometown, home base rather say. And if you look at it, Pac's career, even if you go from 91 to 94, that's 3 years of they want to consider a New York rapper. 95, West Coast, and then what, 90, when he was with Digital Underground, he'll be West Coast again. It's still 3-2. I don't know how y'all gonna count it. But we do look at Pac as like the figure of the West. It's because when he reached the ultimate of being the star, you know, he was in the West Side. Out there in New York right now touring with his label from the West Coast though. This is not East Coast Pac, this is West Coast Pac touring. He's with Thug Life. But I can see both sides. Pac doing Juice, Above the Rim, I can see both sides.
New York Box Talk with Tupac and Thug Life, just like you would call to request a music video. Box Selection 799. Then call again to peep their latest video, Cradle to the Grave. Selection 515 on the box.
You ain't no gangster. You ain't no gangster if you woof it up and then the fight come to you and then you run for some ammunition.
It's Box Talk, only on the music television you control. The Box Life.
Alright, here he is. Here we are.
Is that not crazy that today this would be considered like a vlog or something, being on the block doing a hood vlog? And back then you had to call in a number and then dial 717 and vote to see this.
I'm right in front of school, still talking wrong. Here we are, Box Talk, Thug Life, New York, 155th and St. Nick. That's right, back on the block.
155th and St. Nick, real close to home base.
I got suspended from school right here, then I ran away. I got on the train with the 40 Deuce and ate lunch, come right across the street, eat lunch. Used to live right down the street. We filmed Juice down the street. You know what I'm saying? We filmed above the rim around, like about 10 blocks from around here. You can picture your boy just sitting here like, yo, we ain't going back to class. You going back to class, man? We ain't going back to class. You cut, man. We ain't going back. That's how I think. But let's talk about thug life, you know what I'm saying? Now we talking about the old days. We talking about how we came up. Let's just talk about the view where we came from. This is Radar. What's up, Box Talk? Macadocious. What's up, Box Talk? Sight. Yeah, you know, some man Mo Free. Big Stretch in the back. The whole squad. What's up, bro? My boy Lucy from the Young Thugs. You know what I'm saying? We got the whole Mase up in here. We ain't got no bodyguards, no security, no police. Just some thug niggas popping from block to block to see if it's all real and if it still go down. We just want to get it clear that thug life is not one thing. We're not in one circle, we stay everywhere. We represent Harlem, we represent Brooklyn, the Bronx, Staten Island, Queens, LA, Oakland. We represent Texas, Houston, Baltimore, every country, Louisiana. We don't give a...
They basically doing a tour, and again, East Coast versus West Coast thing was such a big thing at this time. They looking at Pac like, oh, he's representing the West. Remember, Snoop said East Coast ain't got no love for Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg.
And Snoop Dogg. The East Coast ain't got no love for Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg and Death Row. Y'all don't love us. Y'all don't love us. Well, let it be known then. We know y'all East Coast. We know we at East Coast and out.
That's how it was moving back then around that time. That's how it was moving. You get me? If it was you one side and you representing that side. Pac is on the East Coast still trying to get to his East Coast fans and reminding us, bro, I'm born in Harlem, New York City. I did Juice out here. I did Above the Rim out here. Don't let Bad Boy confuse you on who really running this music.
We represent every brick and every piece of cement in this country. We Mac 10 and Rated R. They was with Coolio. And Coolio was doing something with Naughty by Nature. And we all hooked up in the hotel. They was like, Pop, we want you to put us out, man. We got some rock. I was like, man, if y'all niggas just stick down with me, when I get the time, I'll put you out. And I said that to a lot of niggas, but these the niggas that stuck down. We got a whole new thug life thing coming. We finna go on the road with some old school groups. We're gonna be touring. We're going to Europe, blow it up in Europe one time, represent thug life out there. That volume 1 though. Go get volume 1. We got
Pac would have been amazing on YouTube. Oh my god. Like with this whole era right now of artists trying to vlog while they're doing, bro, there's some artists back then that would have went crazy on social media. I think he would have got a lot of trouble as well. But I feel like he's someone that would have been vlogging, talking to the camera like crazy, going live stream, like talking to his fans, connecting with people for sure.
Oh, I love liquor.
It was just entertainment. You could see it on.
We got video for Credit to the Grave coming out. Inglewood is a city where I'm walking by. People looking on TV, they going, wait a minute. Didn't I already hear a group called Thug something? I already heard about some kind of thug something on TV. Who is Thug Life? But this the original. We are the original.
Is he dissing my Bone Thugs and Harmony? Bone Thugs and Harmony? Nah, I didn't even know he had. Are they considered East Coast? I guess Cleveland, right? Ohio? Yeah, I thought they were far enough though that they wasn't part of no beef. Oh, nah, because they cool with Eazy-E though in the West. Remember they was signing Eazy, and he had beef with Eazy-E, and Suge Knight had beef with Eazy trying to get Dre. Yeah. So I could see, damn, Bone Thugs and Harmony shots. Nah, it's crazy. I love Pac. I love Pac for sure, but. You cannot compare both of those crews. Thug Life versus Bone Thugs and Harmony, not at all.
I want niggas to be real again. That's why niggas tripping that they can't handle the funk. Niggas talk all that and run to the trunk. You ain't no gangster. You ain't no gangster if you woof it up and then the fight come to you and then you run for some ammunition. Y'all gonna buy the record because you gonna hear him talking real game. You gonna say, damn, the album must be like that, which it is. Because we can tell y'all the song, but everybody talking that these days, so you ain't gonna believe us. Just go get the record and check it. Thug Life, you watching the box. Music, television, you control, baby.
I love to see it. I love seeing clips of Pac from back in the day, Biggs from back in the day. But there was something about Pac that he really grabbed the attention. He was super entertaining as well. But what do you guys think? Seeing something like this, you seeing all the love that Pac really had for the East Coast. Don't let these blogs, remember, now it's blogs, vlogs, and YouTube channels that all talking about what's going on. Back then, it was a whole bunch of magazines. And I read everywhere that due to the magazines, that's really what pumped up that East Coast versus West Coast beef. It was just beef with some niggas that happen to live in the East and some that happen to live in the West, and then it just blew up. It's like right now, if it was back then and they just, some Toronto versus LA beef. Like, no, it's not. It's Drake versus Kendrick. There's no Toronto and LA beef.
And because y'all don't know, as far as the people who keep pumping this East-West thing up, you brainwashing society, you brainwashing the young rappers.
young rappers from the East feel that they can't buy records from the West because it's disrespectful to their neighborhood or their boroughs or however they do it, and it's the same out where I'm from. West Coast rappers, we play East Coast rappers, we get them all on the radio, but they're timid now as far as actually going out and buying them and representing them and saying, I'm down with this, because you got so many rappers making it not cool to represent this rapper from this other town. That's why I'm glad that, you know, a lot of the artists like the Lost Boys, they got with My Cousin Daz and Corrupt. Dre got his thing going on with Nas, and you know, it's just a lot of things that's going down where people is making things happen and showing that this East-West thing is media. It's not individuals. And if it's personal, it needs to stay personal. And y'all need to deal with it and handle it if it's a problem, and handle it and keep it out of our faces so I won't be confronted with it, because I'm walking through New York right now like this is my town because I love it out here and I love the people out here. And until it's proven to me differently, I don't see no East-West, no battle at all.
They got love for each other. It's just them two people now, you know, seeing eye to eye right now. That's kind of how they really could have separated it back then, but it just got way too far. Whatever you consider Pac, an East Coast rapper or West Coast rapper, I just never thought of this argument, is why I thought it was interesting. I'm like, I wonder what the world thinks. Me personally, I can see why either side is right, but Pac, when he really became that star, that huge star, was in the West, and even him right now, as he's a huge star to my Thug Life touring, he's in the East Coast, yeah, but with all his West Coast people out there, you get me? He got all his artists from the West side. So I would always, when I think of Pac, I automatically think of California. I do love Juice. I do love all the early stuff as well. Juice is one of my favorite movies from the 90s. Same thing with Tupacalypse and Strictly for My Niggas, his first two albums. That was more New York vibes as well. But you know, it's just something about the way that the world painted Pac. We always think of him as the West Coast legend. But I do love reminding everyone he was born in New York. I love reminding everyone he was born in New York. So technically, a New York nigga ran out there and really became one of the biggest legends ever, which is crazy. So it's just really tossed up in the air. One thing I love about Pac is that he represents hip hop. Don't matter what side you on, you got more reasons now if you didn't know he was born in New York to love Pac as well on the East Coast. Subscribe to the channel, comment down below, share your thoughts. We're on that road to 10,000 subscribers.